Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon, and this is going to be the free readings that I'm offering because of my reaching 2,000 followers on Tumblr. I'm really excited to have reached that many followers, and because of that, I wanted to just give back to those of you who have been following me for quite some time. Um, so I offered the ability to send in a question, and then I was going to go ahead and choose 10 winners to read as a video reading to answer your questions. So I chose 10 of you guys, and I'm just going to jump right into it. Just so you know, these readings are going to be anonymous. I'm going to actually send you a response to the ask that you sent me. With just a number. So it'll be 1 through 10. This way you can identify who's who, or identify yourself in the video. And if this video does get to be a little bit long, I might cut it off at 5 readings and then do another one for the next 5. So we'll see how it goes. But the first reading is, the question here is, a lovely video reading from you is actually a sweet miracle for me. I kid you not. Oh, thank you. In case I make it one time, in case I make it on time, I really would love to know the significant events or things to look forward to in the coming month. I do believe something like that would most likely happen, and I truly could use positivity and more miracles in my life. Thank you so much, Rose. Okay, so we're going to be looking for things to look forward to in the coming months. So the next coming months we have October, November, December. So I'm just going to read for the 3 because that is what we've got going on. So I'm kind of feeling, I have the tarot and I also have the oracle deck. So I'm going to read with the tarot. And this is the Halloween tarot. So with that, I'm just going to pull 3 cards, one to identify each of the months. Okay. All right. So this is October, and you got the Emperor. So show that. So the month of October shows me that you're going to be really in control about everything going on around you. So the energy that you're going to be depicting for the month of October is leadership. You're going to be on top of it. People are going to be actually going to you asking for advice and questions. You're going to be that person, that go-to person. People are going to look at you as the person with the knowledge. So it looks like the month of October is going to be a good time for you to really practice your leadership skills, practice speaking up, and practice kind of putting your foot down with a couple of the people in your life that you may have a little bit of a conflict with. This would be a good month to kind of display that you're one of those people that, you know, you value friendships, but people who are kind of mistreating you or taking advantage of you in a way, you're not going to really deal with you're not going to deal with the bullshit is basically what I'm trying to say, is that the month of October is going to be you're going to really be serious about who your friends are and who are the people you associate with, and the people who don't have your respect, who don't respect you, and I should say, this would be a good month to really tell it like it is, explain yourself, because you are going to be in a very powerful, very leadership role, and that's a good time to really speak your truth and speak your mind. So let's see, for November, you got the 7 of Bats, which is also the same as the 7 of Swords. So then the month of November, I would be a little bit wary. There might be the case of dishonesty going on around you. It might be somebody not being honest with you up front. It could have, it could kind of come from the indication of you being more of an outspoken leadership type, and you might be a little bit more assertive with people who you normally aren't assertive with, and they may not like that energy. So the month of November might be a little bit of a gossip month. Associating with those people. So just be wary of that. Be wary of kind of, you know, like I said, gossip, the back talk, people talking behind your back. If you feel that it's happening, chances are it is. Your intuition is very, very important here. Trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, somebody isn't rubbing you the right way, you know, trust yourself and really look into it, this might be an indication of packing up and leaving them behind. So it might be November might be the month where after you've already laid down the law with some people that you've kind of been meaning to talk to and confront, November might be the month where you kind of distance yourself from people that no longer have your best interests and move on. And then the month of December, we have the Nine of Imps, or it's also the Nine of Wands in reversed. So the month of December, you're probably going to feel a little bit closed off, kind of like set apart from other people. So I'm going to put this upright. Nine of Wands, I just feel, just from the energy of the card, I really feel like this is just an indication of like you're not going to feel part of the group. There's going to be a time where you're going to feel like you're kind of battling others for attention of other people, if that makes sense. Trying to stand out in a crowd type thing, and you're going to kind of feel a little bit on your own. Month of December is kind of hard too because it's a time of getting together with family, and a lot of us don't do well with that. A lot of us enjoy getting close and reuniting with family members, but then there's also the time where it is a little difficult to reunite with family members when you're so used to your own separate life and your own separate identity. It's hard to go mesh with people that you once grew up with who think of you as a certain way, but you're no longer that person anymore. So that may prove to be a struggle. That may be the reason why you're a little bit standoffish and why you feel a little disconnected with people. So just hang in there. The month of December, it's going to be a good time. It's a time of togetherness and sharing, sharing old memories with people, especially family. So just if you can just kind of put that away, like the feeling of, being not accepted, but just the expectations of other people on you, they're a little bit outdated, I want to say. If you can just get by, deal with it for the day or couple days that you're around these people, then you can go back to your usual schedule of your own life. That's kind of what the message is saying, is just hang in there. Okay. So that's basically the look through for the next couple of months for you. Let's pull one more card to see what your new year is going to be like. So you got the Fool in reversed. So your new year looks like, I think it's going to be about stepping into a new energy. Of course, New Year's are usually like that. You're going to have new opportunities for things, but I think that you're going to want to take your time. So usually if the Fool is upright, I would say jump at it, go straight for that. But I think because it came in reverse for you, you're going to want to take your time taking in a new experience. So if you have goals in mind, or you have what do they call them, New Year's resolutions, set up an idea for what you want to have as New Year's resolutions, but don't just go at it cold turkey. Take your time on it, okay? And it will result in changes in you, but I think it's going to be a slow moving process. It's going to be kind of one of those like slow moving New Year's. So, don't have high expectations right off the bat, okay? So that concludes your free reading. And let's jump into number 2. So number 2 is, oh my God, this is so cool. Congrats on the 2K. And okay, I'm going to try my luck by sending a question. My spiritual growth, the journey, and what is it that I need to be aware of? Thank you a lot. So for your spiritual growth and the journey, I'm going to pull an oracle card for that, because I just feel like oracle cards are really good for signifying like where you're at in a certain time of your life. So we'll pull the oracle card first. And to save time, I'm only going to shuffle the cards three times. I love the number 3 when I'm doing tarot. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. So your spiritual journey right now, your skull of flowers, creating through the ashes. So your spiritual journey is you're kind of coming out of a hard time, and you're kind of in that the essence of rebuilding. So let's just like be in awe of the card first, because the card is gorgeous, with the skull and the flowers and all that. And I always think of like, if you've ever noticed in the roughest parts of the world, there's always a plant that grows. And I think that that's just symbolic for the fact that you can have gone through the hardest events in your life, but you will always find a way to plant a seed and to grow from that experience. And I think that that's where you're at right now spiritually. Your spiritual journey is it's all about finding a way to grow through all of the crap that you've endured so far. Life may have been a little bit tough for you. It may have been a challenge. Um, so your spiritual journey is going to start naturally from that challenge, and that's where the ashes are at. That's what the ashes indicate, I should say. Now let's pull a tarot card, and we'll see. Oops. We'll see how you go about. What is it that I need to be aware of? I'm going to cut the deck. Oh, never mind. That card just fell out, so we'll take this guy. You got the 10 of Bats, which is also the 10 of Swords. So what you need to be aware of is that and 10 of Swords is that's the card where all of the swords are in the back of that person. So just be aware that the tough times are coming to an end, but I think that you are still going to be dealing with some of the remnants of it. And that's just a process that I say we because we all have gone through hard times. And like any hard time experience, it doesn't just go away right away. There are always remnants that happen. They're memories. So the 10 of Bats can be memories for you. It could be anything that triggers memories to happen. So you're going to have to be dealing with this for quite some time. And I think that's what you need to be wary of, is the fact that you may have gone through some hard times, but just because the experience in a whole is over with doesn't mean that everything is just going to go away. You have to build on it. And I think that for the Skull of Flowers to come up indicating growth from the ashes is showing that you're going to start your journey to grow. But you're going to have the usual memory. There's going to be something that's going to trigger something that will remind you of that person or that situation. It's not going to go away right away. And I want to pull another card because I really want to see, an outcome. And again, we got the 9 of Imps. So the 9 of Imps in reverse, the outcome just shows, I think you're going to be a little bit guarded. It's going to be hard for you to trust people. And for what happened to you with this situation, whether it was between yourself and another person, I just feel like you're going to be guarded more. And your trust in others or your trust in any situation that might remind you of what happened, that's what you're going to be struggling with for a while. Naturally, we all have to go through the steps in order to grow and get through the situation. But you will. Sorry, I want to move the camera a little bit. So you will get through this. It's just going to take some time, but you can't have the expectation that things are going to be solved within, like, miraculously. It's going to be a process. But because you got the 10 and you got a 9, it just shows that you're right there. You're right there at the end of this cycle. Okay? So just hang in there. But your spiritual journey will grow, definitely. And I also want to say your spiritual journey is going to be a lot of healing. Definitely. Okay, so number 3, this is for number 3. And number 3 says, what are the things holding me back? I need to learn to let go of. How can I get past my old trauma and learn to relax, enjoy what I am living? Sorry again. Okay, so what are the things holding me back and what do I need to learn to let go of? So for that, I'm going to use the Oracle. This is the Halloween Oracle deck. Okay. So what do you need to let go of? I'm sorry, what is holding you back and what do you need to let go of? So what is holding you back? Strength. You got the skeleton, strength. So, excuse me. What is holding you back? Am I doing this right? I need to learn to get go of things. What are things holding back and what do I need to let go of? Yes. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I get this right. So, what is holding you back is your strength. And I feel like this is more of a challenge for you where you don't know your own strength. You have more, you're really hard on yourself. And you don't give yourself a lot of credit. And I feel like people may tell you you're so strong, you endure so much, you can get through this, but you think of yourself as weak. And I think that that's your worst enemy, is because you think that of yourself. You physically kind of limit yourself, and you're giving yourself that energy. So when you have the mindset that you are weak, you can't do it, you're just, it's too hard, life is tough, whatever you're telling yourself, you are displaying that energy out there, and that is what you're being a magnet for the same energy to come back to you. So the reason why you're having hard times and you're not able to figure it out is because you're not allowing yourself to think you are better than what you can do. Like, you can endure this and you can get through this hard time. So holding your back is your own mind, and it's your own opinion of yourself that you're not strong, that you're not able to endure this, you can't do it. Like, I think you're more of like that person where it's like, I can't, instead of telling yourself that you can. You know what I mean? So the next card is going to be what you need to let go of. And you got the Skull of Flowers in reverse. And I promise you guys, I promise you that I'm shuffling these cards. You're seeing it. So I don't read reversals for the Oracle. But anyway, you got the Skull of Flowers, which is creating through the ashes. So what you need to let go of is just I think it's the memories. I think it's the doubt. And letting go of the fact that instead of thinking in the past, you need to think in the present and the future. And thinking in the present is hard because we're either looking back at the crap that we didn't do good enough, or we're looking forward at what we want to have happen, but we're not focusing on the now. And so I think that what you need to let go of is let go of the past, which I'm getting that from the ashes part. And I think you really, instead of even worrying about your future, you need to really focus on today, right now, like this second. And that's going to change. It's going to change a lot of your energy. It's going to change a lot of your perspective on life. Because when you're focusing on the now, you literally are changing the future. And you can't change the past, but you do have the ability to change the future by making the choices now, if that makes sense, okay? So let's pull one more card for how can I get my past old trauma and learn to relax and enjoy? So how can you learn to relax and enjoy life, basically? Skull of Light, Illumination. So this is a self-confidence card. Immediately as I read that to myself, I thought, you need to add some lightness to yourself. You need to radiate. You need to be confident. Self-confidence radiates light. You will be very much noticed by other people if you are radiating with confidence. People will people will be so attracted to it. Trust me. They will notice a change in you. It'll be an energy shift. So to learn to relax, to learn to enjoy your life, you need to just accept yourself, accept the things that happen to you, and accept the fact that you are doing what you can to move forward, okay? To be a better person, and all of that. So, and the other thing I want to point out, because I don't know if you caught on right now, but you have nothing but skulls and skeletons. So I do think that the energy of a skeleton, this is my own personal opinion, but the energy of a skeleton is, as a skeleton, you have no skin to hide under. There's no makeup to hide under. It's you skin it. It's like literally who you are, your bone structure. There is no hiding who you really are. And I feel like the skeleton it's symbolic for your true self. And so I feel like in order for you to really gain that acceptance and to really love yourself, you have to really see yourself for who you really are. And the experiences that you endured, the trauma that you went through, it's all to help you grow for the future. And it's to help you grow so that you can be probably a light illumination for someone else who's going through a dark time. So keep that in mind, okay? That's how I always perceive my own dark times, my own dark experiences in life. I see it as it allows me to give advice to people who are going through what I went through. And I like to think that I am that light in other people's lives. So really think about that for a second, okay? All right, let's see. That was number 3. So number 4, and yes, since I'm already at 20 minutes, I am going to cut this in half. So I'll do the first 5 readings here. So number 4, we have 2K celebration. Congrats on a huge milestone. Thank you. I'd like to ask a question. I hope I get chosen. What should I focus on over the next few months? Should I continue on the path I'm on or branch out and try to focus on my dreams? Okay, so similar to the other one, let's pull tarot. And I haven't used the Gothic Tarot, so let's do the Gothic Tarot. So we're going to read about the next couple months. So again, I'm going to pull 3 cards. And this is going to be a two question and 3 cards. So the 3 cards are going to resemble October, November, December. But they're also going to resemble a yes or a no answer. And the way I do yes, no answers is if all of the cards or the majority are upright, it is a yes. And if the majority or all of them are reversed, then it is a no. Okay? So that's how I read yes, no questions. Okay. So October, the energy of October is the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups, the energy of October is basically you are going to need to make a move. 4 of Cups is typically a lazy card. It's just you're not taking opportunities that are being handed to you. You're kind of stagnant. You're kind of not motivated. You're kind of lazy, procrastinating on something, and you're not really social. This is a time of month where you're not going to really feel like you want to be around other people. So I do feel like if you really, really, really want to get stuff done, you're going to have to force yourself to make a move. I also want to indicate that you're going through that time where you're not sure if you should continue on the path you're at or if you should try something different. I think the 4 of Cups for October is indicating that you are definitely feeling the need to change. You want to switch it up a little bit. You're kind of bored. And I think that that's the reason why you do want to switch paths is because you are bored and it's not turning out the way you wanted it. Let's see what November is. So November, you got the Hanged Man in reversed. So November, I think of the Hanged Man as a very inspired card. In reverse, you see him more as like kind of, I'm just hanging there, not really doing much. But then when you see him in reverse, he looks a little bit more alive. And to me, he looks like he's standing tall. He's getting ready to fly. And so I feel like for November, you're really going to feel inspired and you're finally going to find that inspiration, that motivation to actually lift and go. So the month of November might be that month where something happens where you're going to finally find the answer to what you've been thinking and you're going to go. It's going to be like the green light for you and you're definitely going to feel the need to move forward and push on forward with what it is that you want to do with yourself. So let's see what December is. December, we have the 6 of Wands in reversed. So the 6 of, is this the 6 of Wands? Yes, the 6 of Wands in reversed. So let's look at this upright for a second because it's kind of hard to tell. So 6 of Wands is typically a success card. It's a celebration of meeting something, celebrating, to be honored, to be recognized, completing a goal, blah, 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 blah. But you got it in reverse. So it shows me December is going to kind of feel, the energy is going to be a little bit, and I do feel like the end of the year it's like that for a lot of us. I think it's really hard for a lot of us to really get the ball rolling with our life because we have the holidays, and the holidays bring, you know, a lot of memories, people, events, you know, having to go to the grandma and grandpa's house or visiting family that we haven't seen in months or whatever. And it kind of puts you on a pause with your reality. Like you can't really move forward with your goals. Work is kind of put on the back burner. Everyone gets lazy this time of year. So I do feel like the Six of Wands in reverse is just indicating that December is not going to be the month where you're going to be achieving anything. I literally feel just by looking at all the cards, it's going to be a lazy year for you, a lazy end of the year. And that's okay. But as long as you understand that when you are inspired with what it is, what path you want to take, that you go for it, and you try to reach those goals. But I do feel like the end of the year is going to be kind of like a blah time for you. It's not going to be the time for you to really get busy and get stuff done. So I do feel you kind of have the next 3 months to kind of figure out what it is you want to do, what path you want to take. Now, to answer the yes no question, you got two cards in reverse. So this tells me it's a no, which is should I continue on my path or branch out and try to my focus? So continue on your path, no. And I was going to tell you that based on the Hangman. I feel like the Hangman in November, you're definitely going to feel the inspiration. You're going to feel the push that this path that you were once, I'm sorry. Yeah, this path, everything's backwards, so I have to remember that with the camera. That this path you are on with the Four of Cups, it's not what you want anymore. And the Hangman is kind of showing that something's going to happen in November where you're going to be really inspired and pushed to go for your dreams. And I think that the Six of Wands in reverse shows people aren't going to be supportive of it. I think it's going to let a lot of people down. And if you want kind of a tip, I would say don't reveal this around family time, Christmas time, the holidays. Kind of keep it hush hush, because I think it's going to spoil the mood. And I think that that's what the Six of Wands is indicating, that it's not going to be a time to be proud and celebrate over. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So I wish you all the best, and hopefully this helped you a little bit. And let's go on to number 5. So number 5, we have congrats on 2,000 followers. I would love to win a free reading by you. Well, you just did. So I'll try. My question would be, I've been home since the birth of my first child, which has been almost 4 to 5 years ago. And my maternity leave for my second one ends soon. I'd like to know what the cards say, what the future has up for me career-wise. Sending love to you. Oh, thank you. Okay, so career-wise, let's see. Let's pull an oracle to give us the energy of your career path. Oops. Okay, I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, you got zombie control. So the energy of your career path is control. And I feel like this just means that you really want the power to do what you want to do. And you really want to have, like, you want to be the person that's going to be controlling what you do, your life, who you are, what you do, who's in charge of you. I think because you've been out of work for so long, having control over what you want is natural because you've been in control over your life by being a stay-at-home mom. And being a stay-at-home mom, you have the ability to say what you're going to do Monday through Friday, as opposed to having somebody else dictate that for you. So control, I think, is going to be the energy of your career, where I think you're going to want the control. And that is also, I feel, it's going to be a struggle for you, because going back to work means falling under someone else's supervision, unless you miraculously are your own supervisor. But falling under the rules and regulations of another person or another company, it's going to be a little bit hard for you. And so I think control is going to be an issue for you. Now let's pull a card for what the future has up for you career-wise. So let's pull a future card. You got the Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities. So I feel like future-wise, there's a lot of different possibilities for you. I think that this is also the card where it would say like the sky is the limit. So you have a lot of options for you that you can take, a lot of different pathways that you could take for the future. Um, I think you already have an idea of what it is you want to do because you've probably spent a lot of time that you've been home thinking about what you want to do if you were to go back to work. So I do feel like there's possibilities there. But I also think you should keep in mind this control thing, making sure that whatever path you take career wise, I think you want to make sure it's going to allow you to have some control over what you're doing work wise. And that might be going the route of a personal business, working for yourself, or at least doing something that's like a craft or something you enjoy, but it's also going to help bring in the money, for example. Okay. Now let's pull a third card because I feel like it. I just want to see what it says. And death. The eternal cycle begins here. So definitely this card is also indicating change. It's definitely indicating that something new is going to be happening and taking place. So I do feel like death is kind of symbolic for the ending of the last few years that you've been experiencing as a stay-at-home mom, and now you're going to be embarking on another path. So definitely I see career-wise you are going to be taking a new path and a new direction. But I do feel that you are going to definitely be somebody that's going to want to have a lot of say so in your schedule, what you're doing. So really think about that when you're looking for a job. You don't want to take on something where you're going to be at the very bottom of the totem pole. You want to kind of be somebody that's going to have a say so. So a flexible job, something with flexible hours, I would say even looking into part-time work, but something fun that you're going to be interested in and that's not going to feel like an actual job. Okay? So I wish you all the best. I hope that this was helpful for you. And for everyone watching, that was the first 5 free readings. So the next video will be the second 5. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.